Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Kathleen. She gave a general contribution, which I'm going to use for this. I haven't done a Pitidiot video in a while, and I've been seeing a lot of Pitidiot stories. And, instead of calling out each individual Pitidiot, I finally came across something that speaks more to the societal narcissism aspect of this. So, and if you're looking and if you're online, you'll notice the rise of dog attacks, the rise of pit bull attacks, has been through the roof. So, and especially in the UK, Europe, the UK, it seems to be just an outbreak of Pitidiots, and people with, obviously cluster B personality disordered, sociopath, narcissistic borderlines, okay, who are projecting power through dangerous dogs. Why are there more brutal dog attacks? Why there are more brutal attacks as experts reveal the true causes of the epidemic. Exclusive. Farrah Lee Nichol was attacked by a dog tied up outside a supermarket on August 12th. But why are dog attacks on the rise? And what can we do about it? The UK dog attack epidemic is being fueled by pandemic pets as terrifying data shows the full extent of year-on-year increases since lockdown. So they're trying to blame this on COVID. COVID is, so now if you get killed by a pit bull, I guess they could label that as a COVID death. They're trying to blame this on a pandemic when the problem is we have enabled sociopaths, borderlines, people who use dangerous dogs as a source of power. It's another ism. It's another, and miss me Pitidiots, miss me pit bull people, please, miss me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. These things are dangerous. I just had, and I said it in a prior video, I just had an incident here in where we're staying last week with a Pitidiot. A ticking time bomb of impulse dog buying, the return to work, and the often traumatic way puppies have been brought into the world are combining to forge an increase in attacks, with some experts surprised there are so few of them. You have, especially here, and I've been reading it's been happening in Ireland, it's been happening in England, it's been happening in Wales, it's been happening in Australia, okay? These communities, and a lot of these communities, these towns, these cities that have had pit bull bans have been rescinding them, have been overturning them. Why? Why would you do that? Why? Well, if you're looking to cause chaos in society and bring down culture and attack children and attack elderly people, this is exactly what you would do. If you want to empower sociopaths, okay, who want to stand there and then give you the lecture, give you the speech, this is just another lecture. It's not the breed, it's the owner, it's all how you raise them. Bullshit. Bullshit. These dogs are bred for aggressiveness. These dogs were bred for fighting. As I've said, one of my responsibilities, one of the things I was most proud of when I was with Macy's in the city, okay, is we had a canine unit of 6 dogs. Okay? When we first took it over, we had old Dobies. We had old Dobermans. The bloodline went bad because of idiots misbreeding them, crossing up the bloodlines. You can't find a working Doberman any longer. So we had to switch to shepherds, to German shepherds, but not actually German shepherds, because that bloodline in America, you can't buy them in America, you can't buy them in the UK. These dogs were coming out of Czechoslovakia. These are like Czechoslovakian shepherds, okay, because over there is where the bloodline is. There's trainable dogs, and the bloodline hasn't been ruined. In my V, I remember, and I've told this before, we were getting the delivery of 2 new dogs at the time. I think it was Susie and Red Star that we were getting, and or maybe it was Macy and Red Star, or no, it was No, it was Susie was there because we definitely had the female. I think it was Macy. It was Macy. I loved Macy. Macy was gorgeous. Macy was like my main dog. I loved Macy. But my VP asked the trainer, the guy who trains them from birth, gets all their aggressiveness, their bite work, trains us on how to do obedience training and to work these dogs and to keep them working. My VP asked him, he's like, do you ever use pit bulls? And he's like, no, because I'm not crazy. He goes, you don't. He goes, that is a ticking time bomb. Nobody uses a pit bull as a working dog unless you are an idiot. Anybody who knows anything about dogs doesn't use pit bulls as working dogs unless you're an idiot, because they've been bred that way long before the Doberman and the Shepherd bloodlines went bad. This has been the bloodline of these dogs for 400 years. This week, Farrelly Nickel, 5, was rushed to the hospital and left needing a skin graft following a dog attack outside a Teesside supermarket. But what makes Farrelly's harrowing incident so concerning is that she's just the latest in a long line of victims, as Brits own more dogs than ever before. Look at this poor little girl. UK Pet Food, the preferred data source for major charities like Dogs Trust, claim there are roughly 12 million dogs thought to be in the country and in around 31% of our homes. The number of dog households has been constantly above 30% since 2001, tying in neatly with the COVID pandemic. Before that, the number was in the mid to low 20s. Robert Bays, canine behaviorist and training manager at Battersea Dogs Home, said, "Since COVID, we're confident that we have seen a rise in first-time dog ownership in the UK." And this is something these shelters do, because these Pitidiots, they don't have their dogs spayed or neutered. They don't have them fixed. They keep fucking breeding them. They can't do anything with them. They give them away. They end up in shelters, and then these shelters lie about it. Say, he just gets scared. The poor little thing gets scared, and, keep it away from this and keep it away from that. And it just needed to be retrained, and it needs to be rehomed. Bullshit. So there is a level of ignorance that is pushed on some of these pit bull owners, and then they realize the thing is out of control. It can't be trained. It's snapping. It's going to hurt somebody. It's killing pets. And then they end up back in shelters, and then the cycle continues. We know from research that 77% of dogs that were purchased in COVID were puppies, which suggests there's a huge rise in breeding. They're always been breeding these dogs. These Pitidiots love breeding these dogs, like, oh, well, she's pregnant, can't have her fixed, oh, well, next time, oh, well. And they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Because they love it. They love the power it gives them. They think they're controlling something that can't be controlled. And then they're going to stand there and they're going to fucking lecture you over it. You get the lecture. You get the glaze. You get the glaze. It's not the owner. It's not the breed. It's the owner. It's all how you raise them. You must have done something. It was scared. Miss me. These people have been trying to destabilize society now, and that's what they're doing. This is just another way to do it. This is just enough dangerous dogs empowering idiots. Empowering idiots with dangerous dogs to friggin' just destabilize society. Dog breeding was such a lucrative market in the pandemic, but that did lead to huge amounts of unlicensed, or unregulated breeding, with puppies being born in not necessarily the most suitable environment. That obviously then affects their early socialization and their early experiences, which can have an impact on them later in later life, Mr. Bays says. Like with people, if you were to experience a traumatic event when you're a child, or humans experience something stressful in life, it might affect how you perceive the situation in the future. So what they're going with, it's all how you raise them. They're going with it's all how they were abused. Well, why are they abused? Because what, people just abuse pets? People just abuse dogs? No, it's the type of person that's drawn to these dogs. It's the breed and the owner. It's both. Sorry, Larry. Not. Never mind the breed. Never. Never. Never mind the breed. Put simply, dog attacks are on the rise. Bullshit. It's pit bulls. Bullshit. The British Medical Journal reported on April 2023, that the number of incidents has been growing at an alarming rate since lockdown. The clearest data relating to dog attacks is found in hospital attendance, which the BMJ says have increased from 4,699 in 2007 to 8,818 in 2021-22. That's a rise of 88%. As society deteriorates, you keep giving power to sociopaths. They keep giving power to idiots. The other clear indicator is fatal attacks, with 3 people dying on average per year in the UK from dog attacks. In 2022, that number was 10, 4 of which were children. And without a change in how we educate and interact with our pets, it's only going to get worse. No, ban the goddamn breed. You got to take it away from these people, because these people don't stop. They just keep breeding them and breeding them and breeding them. Go to any shelter, look at any rescue, they're filled with fucking pit bulls. It's all pit bulls. Or mixes. Oh, it's a boxer mix. Bullshit. It's a bully breed. Bullshit. It's a pit bull. It's a pit bull. It just needs to be rehomed. It just needs to be a single pet. It just needs to not be around children. It doesn't like elderly people. Who has time for that? No, you're giving idiots ticking time bombs that are going to eventually go off and hurt or maim somebody's pet, child, adult, elderly. It's not the breed, it's the owner. It's all about the lecture. Mr. Bays added lots of people got dogs for maybe the first time during the pandemic, but their lifestyles are going to look really different now. It's unbelievable. They're blaming people who were thrust into working from home with their dogs and able to spend every waking moment with them. That's obviously changed quite substantially now, with the world getting back to normal. So because the owner was there, the dog didn't attack anybody. So if I leave a beagle, okay, if I'm working at home and then I go and get an office job, the beagle's going to start attacking people? Like what? What? It's only one breed that does this. He added dogs lived isolated lives, having already missed out on important socialization during their puppy and adolescent periods that would have played a huge role in development and behavior. But wait a minute, you said it was because of the pandemic, everybody was home, and now people are going back to work. So what socialization are they missing out on? Unless the people that are owning them and breeding them are fucked up in the first place. Much of the debate and theorizing centers around specific breeds being culpable for disproportionately high numbers of attacks. They won't even say the breed, but you know what they're talking about. But animal charities, corrupt, are desperately campaigning to have the approach to dangerous dogs overhauled. Why? They're saying attacks are up 88%, and you want to overhaul the approach and not label specific breed? Like, how does that make sense? On what plane of reality does that make sense to anybody other than a sociopathic Pitidiot? They demand a greater focus on education for the owners rather than isolating dangerous breeds. Why would somebody want a dangerous breed in the first place, is the question. The problem, you're right, is the owners. But you don't give the owners a dangerous breed then. Hospital data, which is the most reliable source of information for dog attacks, doesn't record the type of canine involved in the incident. Of course not, because they don't want to know. While we've seen a rise of dog attacks, we don't actually know that it's related to a specific breed, Mr. Bays explained. Yes, you do, because every time you see a story in the media on one of these dog attacks, it's always the same breed. It's one of two breeds: pit bulls or Akitas, or that. That's it. That's it. Yes, we do. Just because, we don't track it, so we don't know. We don't know. Bullshit. You don't want to know. It's because you want to put you sticking your head in the stand and feigning ignorance. Doesn't mean we don't know. We know. Unfortunately, the bully type breeds are in the media eye a bit more, which obviously then alters the perception that the increase is down to them. Well, what are the non-bully breed? Pit bull. Well, so are you saying that other dog attacks that require hospitalization, they kill other pets or death, are not being reported on? Really? He added, "We do believe that the Dangerous Dogs Act should be doing more to prevent all attacks, focusing more on educating the public and actually trying to highlight these reasons as to why there may be an increase." Again, there's the lecture. And now you're giving Pitiiots a fucking narrative when people say, "Keep your goddamn dangerous dog away from me." Oh, no. Now you got to hear the lecture. No, I don't. Spare me. This desire was echoed by Dr. Ed Hayes of the Kennel Club, who are part of the Dog Control Coalition looking into researching policies and methods to track and trace dangerous dogs in a bid to cut off violence before they get to the stage of an actual attack. Good luck. You think you're going to control a dog with a mind of its own that has been bred for 400 years to attack and kill? Good luck. Again, dangerous sociopathic borderlines wanting to control that which is uncontrollable, and then lecture you when you don't want to deal with it. Unfortunately, the numbers attending hospital have been rising year on year, explained Dr. Hayes. What tends to be an underlying cause for a lot of dog aggression is poorly trained and not properly socialized dogs. So again, it's all on the owner. It's not on the dog. Because if it's on the owner, then you don't have to do anything about the breed. No, the breed needs to be eliminated. Needs to go. Sorry, not sorry. Needs to go. I've had a pit for all my life, and it's the sweetest. Yeah, okay. Got it. Until it's not. Ira Moss, general manager at All Dogs Matter, is on the front line and sees her charity being swamped by now unwanted bully type dogs. Always. This is not a new thing. This has been the last 20 years. These shelters, these friggin' charities have been loaded up with friggin' pit bulls. Because Pitidiots just won't fix them. They won't have them neutered. They won't have them spayed. They keep letting them breed, and they can't do anything with them. Or the ones they get away that they do give away are aggressive, and then they get given back to shelters. She said, we're getting about 10 calls a day of people saying, I need to rehome, there it is, my XL bully. I'm scared of the dog. Ten calls a day. She told of how much the dog buying market now exists online with no regulation. This is leading to unregistered breeders running amok. She added, you might as well just advertise guns and drugs online for sale. These are 45 to 50K dogs that have often been bought by people during lockdown, and most that people are trying to offload. They are between 1 and 2 years old after being bought in lockdown. A lot of them were bought by people who, if they were trying to get them through us, would probably only be recommended a hamster too. So at least they're trying to screen out the idiots. But good luck. Anybody who would want a pit bull in the first place, I got to question. I got to question your mental sanity. I got to. She continued, these are really powerful dogs, and they're often moved about from post to post. They're confused, they're stressed, people aren't walking them, they're putting them in gardens, and in some places, they're being left in flats and used for breeding. Shockingly, she added, to be honest, I'm surprised there are few dog attacks as there are. So at least somebody's being friggin' honest about it. This is no different than a borderline mother who has children just for the attention they get for being when they're pregnant. And once that kid is born, they want nothing to do with it. This is no different. They want the attention they get when they get the dog, when it's a puppy, oh, it's all fun. Once they have to start putting the work into it, they want nothing to do with it. These dogs are meant to break society. What you're seeing now is meant to break society. That is the whole point. Why? If all this is on the rise, and it's not, has nothing to do with COVID. It has nothing to do with COVID. These idiots have been around for 20, 30 years now with these friggin' pit bulls. And now we have it here. It's in Ireland. I've seen it in the UK. I've seen it in Australia. I've seen it in Wales. Where these towns, these cities, these commonwealths, whatever, are rescinding their pit bull bans. Good luck. Anybody who's attacked, at that point, the blood is on their hands. So, thank you to Kathleen for the contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like me to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the PayPal, Zelle, email, Cash App, and email links in the description box below. Sorry. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to follow me. Follow both of my channels on Rumble. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.